Hello everyone! Today we will analyze one of my favorite scenes in Death Note, and we will learn numerous deception tricks from Light Yagami himself. Just a quick summary, Light Yagami aka Kira is a genius honor student who was given a death note by a death god called Ryuk. Light can kill anyone using this weapon if he knows their name and can picture their face. He decided to use this power to kill criminals and become a god. Because of that, the world's best detective L and the Kira police force headed by his father are trying to figure out Kira's identity. This is the premise of the story. Now, spoiler alert, go watch the show, this is your final warning before you move on. Okay, now, a tiny bit of context for this scene. So the American government sends its FBI agents to track all the suspects of the case. Light stages a bus kidnapping incident, luring an agent responsible for tracking him, Ray Benpar, and controls him to kill all the other FBI agents, including Ray himself, at the same time. The woman you see right now is Ray's fiancée, Naomi Misura. She's a retired FBI agent who gave up the job for marriage, and is now looking for his killer. Now let's go. So Light went to the police station to get his father some fresh clothes. This is where Light and Naomi accidentally meet for the first time. It starts with him hearing her mentioning the Kira case to the receptionist there, clearly wanting to speak to the higher-ups about something important. This picks up his interest.
Hi, I'm Detective Soichiro Yagami's son, Light Yagami. I brought my father a change of clothes, but it doesn't look like he's in. Can I leave them here?
Sure. Hey, I haven't seen you in a while, Light.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What, you don't remember? You helped solve the insurance fraud murder investigation sometime last year.
Here Light Yagami was recognized by the receptionist, introduced himself as the son of the detective Soichiro Yagami, and he pretended not to recognize the guy. The latter took the bait and reminded him of the circumstances of their meeting. Basically, he got the receptionist to indirectly establish his reputation and credibility as a police consultant in insurance murder investigation, in front of whom his object of interest, Naomi. This is a good trick. Let others reveal your good qualities and accomplishments for you. It's free social proof and you appear humble. Never do yourself what others can do for you.
So, Light, does this mean you're going to be helping us with the Kira investigation too?
Sure, if all goes well, maybe I'll find Kira before Elle does.
Find him before Elle does?
Excuse me. My father is actually in charge of the Kira investigation. If you'd like, I could pass your message on to him. His cell phone is off at the moment, but I should be able to contact him soon.
Light mentions his name and Detective L's name in the same sentence to again enhance his credibility and entice her interest. This is called appeal to authority. Next, she asks again the receptionist to contact the headquarters, but they tell her they can't help. Light steps in, offering his help through passing the message to his dad. Helping is a great way of creating connection and establishing trust to further elicit information.
Light, it's probably better if you don't discuss this with...
I feel like I can trust her. You can almost see it in her eyes. She's a wise and careful person.
Light pretends he can trust her and describes her using barnem statements that are applicable to most rational adults. I'll make a video about barnem statements later. Here, human beings feel a strong need to reciprocate. He is basically pushing her to trust him back. Talleyrand, Napoleon's foreign minister, used to reveal a fake secret because he knows the other person will feel a certain burden and would want to reciprocate with a secret of their own. Light shares information about the case even though it puts him and his dad in jeopardy. Here she should have asked herself, why are you telling me this? Learn to internally ask yourself that question when talking to others.
You must be pretty brave to be getting involved in the Kira case like this.
Oh, not really.
So according to you, is Kira some... we've been talking and I just realized I don't even know your name. My name is Light Yagami. Light's written with the character for Moon, and Yagami with the characters for Night and God. Kinda weird, huh?
My name's Shokomaki. It's written with the characters for Shining. Ko is in child, space, and Ki is in tree.
Miss Maki, right?
Light flatters Naomi based on facts. You're pretty brave to be involved in the Kira case. It's a clever way of digging for a motive, which she reveals eventually. Remember, not all elicitation of information comes in the form of direct questions. He mentions his name and how it's weirdly written to force her to reciprocate again. Not suspicious because the Japanese writing system is quite complicated. Japanese kanji have different meanings. Anyway, it's obvious to state, but he gets her name since he might use it if she proves to be a threat.
If my analysis so far is correct, Kira can kill in a number of ways, not just with a heart attack.
She knows? Who is this woman?
I don't think anyone else knows this yet. But if the police are willing to consider it, I bet it would help them catch Kira.
You know, that possibility never even crossed my mind.
This is an indirect statement that she's better than him and other detectives. Not all flattery is direct. When you make others feel superior to you, they feel at ease. They become easier to influence.
I'm almost positive that someone I know may have met Kira.
Met Kira? Oh, I'm sorry, but if a person came in saying they'd met Kira, the police would be more than a little skeptical, to say the least.
She keeps explaining her deductions and he acknowledges that her statements might seem irrational from the outside sometimes. This is a natural reaction of anyone. He does this to appear normal. People don't trust yes men who agree with everything.
Okay, so the busjacker didn't die of a heart attack. And based on that, you're saying Kira has other ways of killing people?
Yes.
Don't take this the wrong way, but I think that's a bit of a leap of faith.
She replies with this. Her fiancé was forced to reveal his ID and thus was controlled later to reveal all the names of the other FBI agents. She states because the bus hijacker didn't die of a heart attack like the rest of the Kira victims, Kira was basically trying to hide his involvement in that specific incident. We will see more about this in another video if you enjoy this one.
There's no doubt in my mind your deductive skills are excellent, but you can't deny that you have a personal interest in the case. Still, your theory is worth looking into, that's for sure. Your testimony could be central to the case.
Light confesses that her deductive skills are impressive, and her theory is worth investigating. When you acknowledge someone's opinion, your next question seems the product of genuine curiosity and even concern. If the police determines Ben Barr as the controlled FBI agent, Light will become the main suspect. So it wasn't until this moment that he realized she must die because she figured out too much.
But the more I think about it, the more your theory makes sense to me. We can't waste any time. We need to start investigating it right away.
What? Really? Do you mean that?
Yes. So, have you told anyone else about this?
No, you're the first person I've told.
Now before killing her, he has to make sure he's the only one who knows her theory. And when he validates her insight, he validates his questions. Now that he knows he's the only one who knows, he doesn't have to worry about loose ends. Next, Light pretends to write the details of her case but writes her name on a piece of Death Note paper instead. Death by suicide. He asked her to report the incident to his father so he can buy more time with her. She preferred to do it herself. 40 seconds later, she doesn't die and he gets really frustrated. He checks his watch and this sets her off without him realizing it. He realizes she has given him a fake name, but he has to act normal. He gets really nervous and starts thinking about all the dumb solutions like assaulting her physically or getting her to some isolated place. In this situation, Light can't be persistent or react to her lie, or she will be suspicious. Understand, with cautious and paranoid individuals, you have to display a healthy skepticism, yet not be pushy. You have to also understand that stress compromises one's abilities to think straight, and whenever you feel dumber than usual, you are probably stressed. Now being ticked off from earlier, in addition to him walking slowly, stuck in his head, results in this.
Do you still have business at the police station then? I'd like to go there by myself, if you don't mind.
Light masters some resolve and manages to keep his calm. He has to convince her that she can't achieve her goal unless through him, and this is how he does it.
Excuse me.
Yes?
There's something that I should probably tell you.
Okay.
The thing is, it'll be impossible for you to contact anyone from the task force directly.
Huh? This is supposed to be a secret, then how do you know so much?
His confidence in this statement sets her up to ask the question of how he knows all this, which is a way of him creating the "you forced me to reveal this fact" dynamic. You are the one in control. You can use a similar trick in oral exams. You answer questions in a way that ends with a concept that links to what you want them to ask you next. And most of the time, the teachers will do so because they believe they led you there.
Very well. You leave me no choice. It's because I'm actually a member of the task force.
Huh?
I'm sorry, you're telling me that you're an agent?
Yes. El is currently in charge of the task force, and he's leading our investigation.
Yes. To be honest, I already suspected that.
He was concerned that the task force had become too small. Many detectives had quit fearing for their lives, and so Despite the fact that I'm a high school student, he brought me on board to help out with the investigation. After all, I've helped them solve cases in the past.
So, El trusts you then?
I can go to task force headquarters whenever it suits me, and I'm allowed to investigate freely as I see fit.
So he reveals he's a member of the task force, that he is approved by L himself, and uses the social proof he got from the receptionist earlier to back it up. Remember, one solid truth covers many lies. Next, he mentions the qualities and qualifications of the members of the task force. Listen carefully.
You see, these days the task force is made up of a chosen few, an elite group of people handpicked for the job by L. All are highly skilled, well-respected, and above all, trustworthy.
Mention the qualities of the person you are trying to make a part of your team, and they will see themselves as that person. She seems to be somewhat affected by his words, but her cautious nature kicks in again, and she continues walking anyway, hoping she can contact L directly. He is holding in his frustration and he states in a concerned voice that it's pointless.
You may be right, but I think that there's a chance that he'll meet with me. Although the only contact I've had with him was following orders through a computer, he might remember who I am. You see, I worked under him in a case in the US about 2 years ago.
Are you serious? You worked under L?
Yes, I didn't tell you this, but up until 3 months ago, I worked as an FBI agent.
This is it. Finally something I can use.
He finally finds something to work with. Since she used to be an agent, she trusts L. His new objective now is to convince her to join the task force. Make this a rule in your life to always say less than necessary.
Guess I shouldn't be surprised. In fact, I noticed early on that your investigative skills were far beyond those of an amateur. You're very cautious and you seem to have a gift for getting to the heart of the matter. If I could, I'd like to learn from you.
He compliments her and creates a teach-me-master dynamic. If you want to earn someone's respect, especially men, ask them to teach you something. 1. You make them feel good about themselves. 2. It proves that you are humble. 3. They see you as an apprentice. If done right, somewhat of a successor. In fact, this is how I became friends with my childhood bully.
We're suspects, but I'm certain that I can trust El. Maybe it's unrealistic, but I think that if I go to headquarters and I give them my name, there's a chance that they'll let me speak with him directly.
I see. But if the only person you could trust with this info is L, then why me?
I'll be honest with you. It's because you remind me of El.
Because she trusts L and he reminds her of him, he can work as a mediator between the two, which he does in the next scene.
Will you investigate this case with me?
Huh?
I want you to come work with us as part of the task force. We could use your help. As I'm sure you know, not just anyone can do it. Please, I know this is sudden, but the team needs people like you. I'm serious. You could be doing so much more than gathering information on your own.
Notice, he uses the ego up technique through statements like, not everyone can do it. We need you. You can do much more than just gathering intel. Basically stating that he believes in her.
You have all the experience as an FBI agent. You're more talented than most of the detectives currently on the task force, and L obviously trusted you in the past. It wouldn't be that difficult for you to join. All you need is some valid identification, a recommendation from a current task force member, and of course you need to get L's permission.
He mentions her qualifications for the job, which are perfectly aligned with what he built towards before when he was stating the team qualities.
You want me to join the task force?
I can't help but think that it must be fate that I met you today.
Statements creating a sense of destiny. It must be fate.
I'd like to be the one to recommend you.
Finally, the honor and credit of being the one to recommend her.
Oh, I'm sorry about that. I guess I got a little bit too excited.
After perfectly setting up the trap, he takes a step back. This is what most people fail to do, and most predators are good at.
It's okay.
I mean, even if you acted as a consultant on this investigation, it would be a great help. I'm sure you have personal obligations to attend to, not to mention the fact that you live in the United States.
He even disqualifies himself in some way and gives her excuses to why she might not do it.
It's true. Before all this happened, I thought I'd continue living in America with my fiancé.
Sensing the desperation in knowing that all she wants from life now is to do justice by her lover, he pokes that frustration a bit.
All she needs is a little encouragement. But you're young and beautiful, and you've got your life ahead of you. Why put it all in danger for this?
No! Now that Ray's gone, I've got nothing to lose anymore. I want to catch Kira.
What Light did was creating a distance between them, thus creating a space for her to fall. Just like when a parent creates a distance between them and their child in the swimming pool, to teach them to fall forward and take that initial leap of faith. This ultimately creates the illusion of choice.
I don't care about anything else. It's all I want to do. Please let me investigate this case with you.
Yes, of course. I just need to see some form of identification before we proceed.
She confesses that she faked her name, but instead of looking offended, he continues to indirectly hint that she's superior to him as a detective, and that he likes to learn from her. Even skillful manipulators can sometimes ruin their work by making a final mistake right before they get what they want, either through a slip, inconsistent reaction, or letting their guards down. Light doesn't waver and he takes the victory home. Naomi reveals her identity and moves towards her death.
If you don't mind my asking, why do you keep checking your watch?
Oh, well... I guess it's because I'm Kira.
In the end, Light taunts her after ensuring his complete and absolute victory. It's not good though. This type of arrogance will eventually lead him to his downfall. Even when you are superior to your opponents, you shouldn't gloat and always allow some dignity in defeat. Naomi was a very smart character and an excellent detective, and the writer confirmed that if she didn't die early in the story, she would have interfered with the intended progression of the plot. Light was also extremely lucky, but he was ready. You should too be ready. You should learn about deception, so when you meet someone like Light, you wouldn't be a victim. Just like a good person trains himself against forms of temptation, he also trains himself to be capable so he wouldn't be spiteful, and let his aggression unconsciously destroy him and others. Protect what's yours, so not to steal your neighbors. This scene is full of interesting and useful lessons about deception, so I highly recommend you study this video and watch the Death Note series if you haven't yet. I want to make more videos about Light and L as well. Anyway, this video is dedicated to my subscriber Satyam Prakash. I hope I pronounced that correctly. If you like more of these breakdowns in the future, subscribe and leave a like, and check this video over here.